Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much for joining me. We're out on the bike again. Why wouldn't we be? This is, after all, Biking Buddies, the motovlog channel. So, as always, in fine Biking Buddies fashion, grab that favourite brew of yours, grab that favourite beer, indeed, grab a bottle of wine if the fancy takes you, and let's come along on this week's Biking Buddies Misty Moors motovlog. Let's roll VT.
Where do you go when you're young, when you're restless, when you're fun, cause you're desperate? Oh, here they come for a chance, for adventure. What's your poison, what's your pleasure?
Right then, folks, so that is the titles out of the way, as you have just seen there. Yes, so we're fully adventured up today. We've got sleeping bag, we've got overnight kit, we've got stove, we've got food, we've got water, provisions, etc. And I've even brought a little hip flask for a wee dram once we're all set up. So we're not wild camping, but we're kind of semi-wild camping. So we're going to a farm that I've stayed at before, and basically it is just a field that we have, no facilities there whatsoever, so that's hence the wild camp side. Only this time we're not actually camping, we're going to tarp camp. Afternoon. Yeah, so this time we're going to be tarp camping, a little bit more open to the elements. I've never done it before, so it'll be exciting and interesting to see how we get on. So yeah, the bike feels very different today. I am fully loaded up and taking the bike off-road. It does feel very, very different, but yeah, we're soft panniers, so we should be okay. It just feels a little bit, the weight distribution is very different, and as such, yeah, the bike feels very different as well. So I appreciate that I've only just started this video, but for me, I'm already about 2 hours into this ride, so I am going to get pulled up at the top, have some lunch. And certainly when you look around us, wow, I mean, what a fantastic, magnificent day we've got. I could certainly think of worse days and worse places to be having some lunch. Okay then, folks, so that is lunch dispatched and out of the way, and let's just have a quick look around. I could certainly think of worse places to lunch than this. High up on Redmire Moor, our destination takes us off over that way. We've got this beautiful forecast around us today, cloudy sun. So let me take you for a very brief tour around the bike. So as you can see, we are adventured up, food, provisions and cooking in here, sleeping bag and a little bit of warm clothing in here for tonight because it will be getting quite cold, and we've also got the tarp and roll mat, etc. in here. So as you can see, I'm packing the Krieger luggage system on the bike, and I must admit it is absolutely rock solid on the adventure spec side pannier mounts there. We've got bags of clearance for the exhaust, so nothing to worry about there in terms of cooking the bags and melting the bottom of those bags out. So yeah, as I say, that's lunch dispatched and out the way in this beautiful surrounding. So let's jump on the bike and get this ride underway a little bit more. So the overall and general idea today then is just to incorporate a few trails, a few of the easier trails. I don't really fancy doing anything super technical and gnarly with all of the luggage on the back of the bike, partly because the bike feels uber heavy, but also I am a bit mindful. I don't really want to be rattling all of the stove. I've got a petrol primer stove. I don't really want to be rattling the living daylights out of that. So yeah, we're just going to do the gentle trails today, just a few to get us over to the farm. I've actually got lots and lots of time. And the farm, incidentally, is right at the head of Swaledale, just past a little village called, or a little hamlet rather, called Keld. And certainly those of you that follow me on the YouTube channel, you'll most likely recognise the farm. I did stay there once before with the Triumph, but yeah, I certainly didn't do any lanes on that day. So we're just tumbling off Redmire now, as we drop down over the grids. Yep. And then we'll have a road section to do before we pick up the West Witton Trail, which again should be more than doable on a bike fully loaded up. Well, yes, as you can see, we are absolutely bathed in sunshine, and what a perfect weekend it is to come and put a cheeky little one-nighter as an overnight Tarp Camp-esque. So we're just working our way along the bottom of Wensleydale Valley now, just coming up to the next little village, which is West Witton, and then we'll pick the trail up and just traverse along the side of the valley before we drop down to the next section. Absolutely fantastic to be out on the bike today, and even better, the first time doing a little bit of proper adventurising with the Tenere, carrying a bit of luggage and carrying some overnight gear. So yeah, I'm super excited about this one. I'll be interested to see how we get on with the tarp. I've never tarp camped before, and certainly never tarp camped with the bike either. So yeah, that's going to be a voyage of discovery, trying to get that thing set up. So hence there is a need to do a semi-wild camp and be at a very rustic but at a campsite rather than just out in the wilds on my own. I really do enjoy these little back roads that link the trails together. We're just climbing high up on the opposite side of the valley now, just out of West Witton, up towards the start of the next trail. And certainly when you've got days like today with the dappled sunshine coming through, we can see everything just starting to green up really nicely. It's an absolutely idyllic place, and I genuinely do feel quite blessed to be riding in these areas and to have it all on our doorstep. I know I've always long campaigned the northeast, just how fantastic the area is and how diverse, but yeah, it really shows it when you get into these beautiful little picturesque places that we're in. Still quite a bit of runoff. We absolutely tanked it down yesterday. Always mindful when you come around those really tight hairpins there. You are going around a completely blind corner, and yeah, we timed that one right, didn't we? Just indeed. Wouldn't want to meet him on the hairpin, that is for sure. Let's just have a quick glance up, because we cut across the road here. Yes, I certainly would not have wanted to meet that truck on that hairpin. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about there, just coming up out of West Witton. We just traverse now, we just follow this contour basically along this nice steady little track. But what a beautiful day, and what a spectacular view that we've got. And this is where we just take a little bit of an intersection and we drop down to the right. Yeah, there are quite a few walkers out today, which is nice to see people out and about just enjoying the countryside as we are today. A little bit steep and rocky on the descent, and a bit loose underwheel, as you would well expect from the good old Yorkshire Dales. Always loose underwheel. Yeah, I do enjoy these descents down. I love these tracks where you can just ease the bike through, even when you're fully loaded as we are. I've kind of got used to that weight of the bike now. It sort of just neutralises in a lot of respects and just feels normal. But what is nice, and I was just thinking to myself coming across the tops there, I joined the TRF pretty much at the beginning of winter. So the majority of, if not all of the riding that I've done with the TRF has been obviously through those winter months and the very wet months as well. I've not actually experienced the trills when they've been dry as they are at the moment, so yeah, it's quite refreshing not to be splodging through massive deep puddles. And obviously those grip levels increase hugely as well, which is very encouraging as well. Now incidentally, when I set off this morning, I wasn't actually planning on doing this trail that I'm just about to do at the moment, partly because of the added weight on the bike, of course, but also the fact that this is very loose as we go up here. I wonder what this van's doing. Does he realise where he's going? But yeah, as I look at it, I think the views off the top there will be absolutely stunning, make no mistake about that. So let's get this gate and we'll go through, and what we will do is we'll stop just on the first mid-ridge and we'll get a bit of a view and a vista of this absolutely incredible place that we're at. Okay, so while I get the gate, I think I've worked out what's going on with the van that's behind me at the moment, just coming down. I think he's seen this as a bit of a shortcut. Probably got himself just up onto the loose stuff where the first turn or two is. And yeah, I would imagine he's probably bailed it at that point and thought, sack that. And he's now very gingerly reversing down the track. Incredible. It does make you wonder. It really does. So we'll go off pace, but we'll just keep it nice and steady. Don't want to be ripping the grass up. That looks like a bit of a homemade camper van. Was he really trying to get up there in that? I do believe he was. Wow. Takes all sorts, I guess. There's no way that he would get a standard transit van up this trail. Absolutely no way. I mean, look at the ascent that we've just taken there. Yeah, this is a good little interim ridge actually, because you get some fairly spectacular views off the top. So yeah, our trail takes us up there, so we've got another little loose section similar to what we've just come up. And hold your breath, count to 10, da da da. Would you look at that for a view and a vista. The Yorkshire Dales truly are a spectacular and amazing place, and when you see them on days like today, I particularly like it when we've got this dappled sun and a little bit of shade with a cloud. It just gives the land a little bit more relief, as it were. What an absolutely amazing place. Utterly beautiful. And the results of that climb, what do we get when we're on the tops? Well, look at this for just absolute idyllic amazingness. But yeah, I mean, this is just spectacular. How can you not like this? I mean, wow, just, and particularly for somebody like me that loves these wide open, vast spaces, this is just Mecca, absolute Mecca. So the T7's absolutely loving this terrain, and I must admit I am super impressed with how well it's carrying the luggage. Once you get that bodily adjustment yourself, if I'm brutally honest, you kind of don't really notice it that much. It's only those first handful of miles where you think, oh yep, I can just feel a little bit of tip in, just with that added weight on the bike. But yeah, once you're used to it, or once you've ridden a little bit, should I say, then very quickly you become used to it, and you just start riding the bike normally. Is this gate open? I do believe it is. The general etiquette is if the gates are open, leave them open. Could be the farmer doing something. Wow, look at that for a view, eh? Utterly spectacular. So yes, Easter bank holiday weekend, and I expected this place to be busy. The foreshore is quite busy with the old van life, camper vans. And there's a few paddleboarders, cheers. There's a few paddleboarders and things out on the water, as you'd well expect. And why not? It's a beautiful day. And yeah, we crest over the top here and boom, look at that, very busy indeed. Got a Labrador in the water. People generally having picnics, and a few van lifers will be overnighting, I'm sure. Thank you. Cheers, thank you. Cheers, boys. So it's the Roman Road next. We'll climb up to the top of there, drop down into Hawes, and then we'll go over Buttertubs, I think. And that should take us pretty much towards our campsite. And when we get there, that's when the fun and games will invariably begin, as I start to wrestle this tarp. I think I've got it sorted in my mind how it's going to go. But quite often, as is the case with this type of thing, what your mind is thinking and what turns out to be reality can be two very, very different things. So as we crest over the top there, we're just about to pick the Roman Road up. What you're looking at is the incredible vista of Wensleydale stretching right out in front of us, disappearing off over towards Sadberge. We've got Hawes, the market town of Hawes, just directly down there. And yeah, that's ultimately we're going to pass through, and we'll go over the limestone pavement just up to the right, which is Buttertubs Pass. How incredible does that look? Yeah, so the Roman Road, that's what we're going to do next, and that's the trail that we can see down here, just leading off up over there to my left. It's probably around about 2 or 3 miles, I think, all told. A little bit rocky and bumpy in places, but I've been quite impressed with the old T7 so far. She's handled it very, very well, even with all of the luggage on the bike. And hopefully my chili con carne and rice won't be too shaken by the time I get to the campsite. I'll be ready for it, I know that. Okay then folks, so I have just jumped off the bike, partly just to strip some layers down. Yeah, we're just down to the jersey now with the body armour underneath. So I've got windproof, waterproof jacket off. It is absolutely baking hot. Certainly when you're wrestling the bike around, it does feel quite hot. So yes, as I mentioned there, I've got the Roman Road. Let's just have a quick look then. Stretching ahead in front of me, climbing up steadily away. And yeah, as I said earlier, I've never actually ridden these tracks when it's bone dry. So that's going to be quite interesting without it been hyper slippy, and we're looking for those ruts, etc. So yeah, we just got to watch out for the ruts rather than the slippy muddy ruts. But yeah, I'm having an absolutely fantastic day. Look around us, how could you not like this? Roasting hot day. And yeah, if this is a taste of things to come, then trail riding in warmer weather, wow, that is the way forwards. And that is us pretty much on the top of the Roman Road. We've got a little stretch to do that literally traverses the very summit, and then yeah, we drop down and pick the road section up. It's just incredible riding this trail. These are the boulder fields. Yeah, very reluctant to go off piste. I don't think you should really. You can see a lot of people have, but yeah, I don't think you should. You should just pick your way through there gently. Yes, so we've got this top section to go across, and as I say there, it's incredible seeing the trails so dry. Yeah, we've still got a few pockets of puddles, but generally speaking, we have got a very dry trail. So as you can see, we're just bouncing across the bedrock of the limestone pavement. We are right up on the tops now. And these are the bits that we've got to be a little bit careful of when we're fully loaded. Got to be careful of them full stop, but certainly when we're fully loaded, we don't want to be nipping a tyre up against the rim, getting a puncture or bending a rim. That really would ruin our weekend. So let's get on with it. Enough chitter chatter. And here we are, coming towards the road section. A few bikers out as well, road bike stores by the look. And a few walkers as well. If I time this one right, with any luck, they'll get the gate for me, and I'll just be able to breeze straight on through. That is the general plan. Oh, perfect. That was good timing. Thank you very much. So yeah, the top of the Roman Road sees us drop down towards the little village of Gill, which is the prelude to Hawes, and I'm just coasting here. Look at that for a spectacle. Now the GoPro never picks up the severity of a descent, but I am literally sitting on the pilly seat now. Look at that, absolutely amazing. Incidentally, this bike sounds incredible in first gear. So let's put it out of its misery and we'll just let it run. And this is me dropping into Gill now. What are we doing, camper van? Not wanting to go over the ford, I see. So the next stop when I dropped through Gill is to get myself over Buttertubs Pass down into Swaledale. Now I'm not going to film that section. I've done that many times on many different bikes before, so if you want to have a look at butter tubs, then just search butter tubs in the video library, and I'm sure you will find many a video there. So we're going to pick this one up when we're actually at the campsite. And this is the very upper reaches of Swaledale, and how beautiful is this? Look at that little waterfall just trickling away there. Why don't you just get out your car or walk down? There's a gate there. Dear me. Anyway, as I was saying, waxing lyrical, yeah, we're just on the final approaches to the campsite now. We've got, so you can see this limestone pavement here. This is the plateau. This is what we climb up and over continuously when we're doing the trail riding in the dales. So yeah, as I was saying there, it's been an absolutely incredible day. We're just on the closing sections now, just coming up towards our campsite. There is the farmstead there directly in front of me, Hogarth's Farm. And the campsite, I would imagine there'll be a few people on it, particularly with the weather that we've got and the fact that it is the Easter weekend. So let's have a quick look. It's just down this little track down here. There's a few there. So I'm a little bit undecided where to get set up now. I might actually, do you know, I might get set up in this field here and just be a little bit higher than everybody else. That there looks good to me. Yeah, I think up here and have the entire field to myself. Wow, so here we are, we're at the campsite. There's the old bike. Look, I've just got to try and fathom out how to get the tarp set up now. Just have a quick look around me. This is an absolutely idyllic spot, as you'd well imagine. Now it is a little bit busy with it being a bank holiday weekend. You can see some people are struggling with a mahoosive caravan. Just got it stuck in the gate and nearly popped the rear window out. You do have to question, why would you bring a caravan to a tiny little remote site like this? I mean, yes, it's utterly beautiful, but really, to move a caravan and get it turned around down there, there's probably only about 100 feet between the dry stone wall that we've got here and the river itself. So I've got this entire spot to myself for now, but I do believe it will fill up as the day progresses. So I'm going to get the tarp set up. Let's get this bike demontaged and get a brew on the go, because I am in desperate need of a coffee. Wow, okay, so we are done. That's the first pitch with a tarp pitch. So let's have a look then. We've gone for, it's got a funny name, this. I can't actually remember what the name of the pitch is. I've got a spare peg there. Good job I saw that. Good job of having a walk around. Yeah, so I've done it kind of diagonal to diagonal rather than slab-sided. So I get this quite elongated shape, and I've just tucked this bottom corner in there just for the sake of it. So yeah, I am quite pleased with that. Let me show you inside my humble little abode for the night. So here we are. Prevailing wind's coming from over here, as it tends to, south-southwest. So there's the old T7, and she's well propped up, so it's not going to go anywhere. So let me just talk you through what we've got. Let the light levels adjust. Okay, so here we are then. Super snug. I've got acres and acres of headroom, as you can see. Let me get those off, it's not sunny in here. Yeah, acres of headroom, as you can see. Got all my gear laid out there. That'll move further down when we get bedded down for the night, as will the sleeping arrangement. So let me take you through this then. So underneath here we've got our OEX inflatable mat that you can see there. Then I've got my 4-season down sleeping bag. We've also got OEX self-inflating pillow, and then we've got our Alp Kit bivy bag with the fly above us. So the fly, I believe, is a 3000mm static head, and the bivy bag is 10,000, so you can pretty much sleep in a river and you're not going to get wet. So yeah, whatever the elements throw at me tonight, I should be okay. And to cap it all, what really will be nice is if we just spin you around, that is my view. So yeah, not a bad view, I'm sure you'll agree. So in a little while I'm going to get some tea on. I'm starting to get a bit hungry now. Get some food, and then we'll just while the evening away, get a brew on, get a coffee going, and yeah, just generally chillax. This has been an absolutely incredible day so far. Okay then folks, so that is the evening meal out the way. We're just settling down now just for the remainder of the early part of the evening. It's quite a clear sky at the moment, but oddly enough there is mist forecast to roll through around about midnight, so I'm going to chance this one. If we just have a look up there on the bike, I am actually running a time lapse, or a night lapse to be more precise, so it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. If you're watching that in the next 10 seconds or so, then it worked. If you didn't and we cut into making breakfast and packing up, then clearly it didn't work. So yeah, I have brought with me today a little dram. So in here I've got a 10-year-old Ardbeg, so I'm going to enjoy a little nip of that. Now we've had some food, and then I'm going to get my head down and have a jolly early night. It's boding well for a good night's sleep. Just have a look how much this sleeping bag has just puffed itself up. So yeah, the beauty of a 4-season down sleeping bag, just leave it for an hour or so and yeah, it's looking unbelievably toasty warm. So I think there's absolutely no shadow of a doubt that I'm going to have a relatively comfortable night tonight. Oh, good morning everybody. So here we are, the morning after the night before, and what do I think of tarp camping? Well, does tarp camping work? Yeah, absolutely. In fairness, I think it does. I think the night lapse will be a little bit rubbish. It might be okay for the first half of the night, but I'll find out when we get back, and you'll already know if you've already seen it or not, whether it was workable. So yeah, I woke up a few times during the night, arguably no more than I would have done if I was in my tent. And what was notable was about 2 o'clock in the morning, just having a look around, and there was a hard frost everywhere, and that probably accounts for why I woke up a little bit. I was toasty warm in my sleeping bag, and the setup that I've got going here, that was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I could just feel a little bit of cold on my face every now and again when I rolled over. Is everything dry underneath here despite the mist that we've got around us? Yeah, it is actually. Everything is bone dry, so I'm very pleased with that. Albeit it's got to be said, it wasn't raining last night, and there was very, very little to no wind, so it might be a little bit of a different story if it's a wilder night, certainly with the tarp of this size. But that's something to consider, depending what I take with me, whether it's the tarp or the tent. So let's get some coffee on the go, think about getting packed up and get our day underway. And there we are, pretty much all packed up. As always, leave no trace. You'd never know that I was there, apart from the tiny little rock that the side stand's resting on. Let's go pay the farmer and get on our way.